Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sirs.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
You are Madhav, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you stay?
In Jaipur, Rajasthan.
Jaipur. And did you come today or you came last night?
Ma'am, I came last night.
Last night. By road or by train?
By train.
By train. Okay. There are very good trains to Jaipur,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So, what are your hobbies?
My hobby is birding.
Birding. What is birding?
Birding is also known as bird watching.
Bird
It is a hobby in which a person is interested in watching birds, trying to learn about their various habits,
Okay.
like feeding pattern and the migration routes that they take. So it is generally a study of birds.
Birds. So, do you know of some big shot who wrote books on birds and he wrote many things about their life, etc.? Have you read any such book?
Ma'am, Dr. Salim Ali was the famous ornithologist, and he was also known as the Birdman of India. He wrote a book called The Birds of the Indian Subcontinent. It has several volumes, so it contains the birds of India and Pakistan and around the region.
And he wrote mostly about your northern area, including your Rajasthan and Niera Morena and all the Bharatpur and all those areas, because he used to keep going there.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Is it a good hobby, watching birds?
Ma'am, it is a good hobby.
It's a very good hobby. So, what is your favorite subject?
Ma'am, my favorite subject is geology, as I pursued is as an optional and currently studying it.
Okay. So, tell me about remote sensing. Are we using remote sensing for various studies about minerals, ores under the earth?
Ma'am, remote sensing is the study in which a person tries to locate an object by not directly coming in contact with the object. So it is a useful study in the location of minerals. For example, it is used to identify the various fault zones, the various stresses that are present, and generally the mineralization of veins occurs close to the faults. So it is a useful study in the location of minerals.
So tell me any area where they are using remote sensing. Any area in India where they are using the technique and doing well.
Ma'am, remote sensing is used in multiple areas. For example, in agriculture it is used in surveying. In transportation also it is used to map important areas. In defense and other industries. And apart from that, in the mineral exploration and identification it is used.
So do you think they use it near Visakhapatnam and they have a lot of mineral ore nearby? Do you think they use it there?
Ma'am, around the seashore areas it is used for identification of the zones. For example, shale gas can be exploited there and the mineral resources that are present there can be used.
So have you traveled a lot in India? Have you traveled? Which district or port have you seen?
I have not been fortunate enough to see any port, but I have travelled across Rajasthan.
Across Rajasthan. So tell me one or two forts which are famous in India, Rajasthan forts.
My first famous fort is Amer Fort in Jaipur and also Jaigarh and Nargarh Fort. Second famous fort is Lohagarh in Bharatpur, as I was born there, so I have visited
you are
there.
From Bharatpur.
I was born in Bharatpur and currently staying in Jaipur.
That's nice. Right, sir?
From the geological viewpoint, what are the problems with trying to develop fracking as a source of fuels, fossil fuels? What are the problems associated with fracking?
Sir, fracking is a technique which is used for exploitation of natural gases and other resources. So the main problem is that it requires a lot of water. So India does not have a lot of water resources to pursue it, and secondly, a lot of research and development and capital investment is required for fracking.
There are no geological issues involved here.
So,
In the US, for example, or in Europe, there has been a lot of criticism. So what are the geological issues?
sir, the main geological issue is that during the horizontal drilling in fracking, it is water and guar gum are used to they are poured into the pores, so that due to pressure the gas comes out. So it decreases the strength of the rocks and there can be subsidence in that region. So it is a geological issue that is related with fracking.
Right. So India, what is India's policy with regard to fracking? Does India have any policy? What is it?
Sir, for the exploitation of shale gas and other resources, India is pursuing fracking, but it is limited now.
Where?
Sir, around the shoreline regions in Andhra Pradesh and around areas.
So not nowhere in the inland areas. All right. Now, which are the areas of India which are at the risk of earthquakes? And again, can you explain it from a geological viewpoint? Which areas?
Sir, as per the geological point of view, India can be divided into various seismic zones, like seismic zones 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. So the zones which are in the 4th and 5th zones, for example, the Gujarat area, around the Bhuj, and in the mountainous regions in the Himalayan belt, these are some of the highly sensitive areas where earthquake can occur. So these are sensitive areas.
What about NCR region?
Sir, NCR region, I think it is in the seismic zone 3rd. So it is not very highly probable to have earthquakes.
Why does Nepal have earthquakes very frequently? India's neighborhood Nepal has also had some devastating earthquakes. Why?
Sir, if we look at the geological history, as the young fold mountains were formed, the Himalayas are the young fold mountains, so a lot of stress is accumulated there. So during the release of stress, as per the elastic rebound theory, if the rocks are strained, they release stress by so earthquake occurs. So that's why.
Thank you.
Madhav, you see, you have worked in this Unnat Bharat Abhiyan,
Yes, sir.
promoted by Ministry of Education. I'd like to hear your experiences about it. What did you do? What did you learn? What does it tell us?
Sir, I was fortunate to work in Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. It is an initiative of Ministry of Education. The main vision of the program is to connect the technical institutions with the villages and to identify the root causes that are there. So during my tenure, as I was the coordinator in one of the villages called Dhapkanala, so we organized several field trips in the villages. So we looked after all the coordination between the villagers and our technical team. There was a Unnat Bharat Abhiyan survey form. It contains a list of the schemes which have been availed or benefited the villagers. So we note down the feedback form and we created a closed loop so that the feedback could be sent back to the government, and if there is a lacking in the implementation, the government can do it. And simultaneously, we also organize several awareness programs in the villages and also help students in their studies by weekly organizing a trip there and solving their problems and doubt. And plantation drives and other initiatives were also there.
Plantation drives.
Yes, sir.
And solving their problems by taking classes.
Yes, sir.
What were your takeaways from this activity?
Sir, the main takeaways are we identified some of the challenges. Like as we filled the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan survey form, so most of the villagers were not aware about the major government schemes. They were only benefited from one or two schemes directly. Secondly, another issue was that lack of awareness, and people wanted to work, mainly the female members wanted to pursue a job that is located in their nearby area, so that during their ideal time they can help to support their family. So these are the two challenges, and to counter that, we organized awareness programs like Nukkad Nataks in the local languages, in vernacular languages, and the female members of our team were directly addressing and counseling the females of the villages to help them about various issues. So we countered it in that way.
Very good. Have you heard about entangled particles?
Sorry, sir, I am not able to remember it.
Okay.
Madhav, so very interesting to interact with you, and I would like to understand from you, are there any laws to protect the birds from illegitimate hunting, shikar and sale of protected birds?
Sir, as per the provision of the, I think I'm forgetting the name of the law, but Wildlife Protection Act is there. So the illegal hunting and capturing of birds is prohibited, and their sale is prohibited by the government there.
So the sale is prohibited and there are no illegitimate trade centers for the sale and purchase of birds, or there are illegitimate centers?
Sir, as per our report, there are centers for illegitimate trade of birds, but due to the lack of implementation of the scheme and the program, so we are right now, because main reason is that the lack of forest official is there. If we look in the particular state of Rajasthan, during the last 10 years, there have been no vacancies of forest officials.
Okay, forget the forest officers. Let us go to your hobby. Great Indian bustard. How many are left in India now?
Sir, it is a critically endangered bird. Exact numbers I don't know, but there are very few as we compare in the last decade. The population has declined significantly.
Few would mean in hundreds and thousands or in lakhs?
In thousands, in hundred and thousands.
In thousands?
In 100 and 1000 between. Not exact number I don't know.
Well, that was very interesting answer. Reminds me of pocket witnesses. So, Madhav, we come back to your original topic, sparrows, Goraiya.
Yes, sir.
How do you think, and who is one person you'd like to name who has been able to breed and increase the population of this sparrow? And how has he been able to do it?
Sir, I don't know the name of the person, but several organizations and initiatives that I know. If you would like, I will.
Yes, go ahead. Tell me about the organizations.
Sir, the main reasons for the sparrow decline is the urbanization and the concretization. So the natural habitat is declining. So there is an NGO which provide cardboard boxes in the form of a nest which we can place in our houses so that sparrow can there and breed there. So it provides some sort of natural habitat there.
I was very fond of shooting winter migratory birds, but that was when I was your age. Today, if I were to try shooting winter migratory birds, what would be the consequences?
Sir, you would be arrested as per the forest laws and fine would be imposed on you.
Under what laws?
Sir, under I think Wildlife Protection Act.
Again, Wildlife Protection Act. Is there
Sir,
any
I
other
don't
act?
know the exact law, but I will look into it.
Tell me about the winter migratory birds. What are they? Can you name a few winter migratory birds and their trajectory of flight?
Sir, if we locate, there are several flyways. Like this, in India, it is located on the Central Asian flyway. From the Siberia and the Russia and Europe, the birds come during the winter season. Many of the birds, for example, gadwall, reddish shelduck, grey-leg geese, bar-headed geese, and critically endangered Siberian crane used to come to the Kilauea National Park. So these are some of the birds.
Great. Now coming back to your state, tell me two important books written by Britishers on Rajasthan. Two important books written by Britishers on Rajasthan.
Sir, first I can remember is there was a book written on the history of Rajasthan by General Todd.
Full name?
Sir, I don't know the full name.
Okay. Name of the book?
Sir, again I am not able to remember.
Never mind. Second book?
Sir, second I don't know.
Never mind. Thank you so much, Madhav.
Thank you,
sir.
Madhav, your name reminds me of a very important personality in Indian history. Are you also conscious of it, or your name reminds you of something else? Madhav.
Sir, Madhav means it is a synonym of Lord Krishna.
Have you also heard of a historical personality by this name?
Sir, one is Madhav Rao Scindia ji. He was
Have you heard of Madhavacharya as well?
Sir, I have heard of him.
Okay, nothing beyond.
Sir, I am not able to remember the exact details.
Okay.
But
Okay. You love watching birds, its migratory patterns and so forth. You are from Bharatpur. Birds are warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
Sir, they are warm-blooded.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what does their migration teach to us as a species, human beings?
Sir, their migration mainly is based on a fragile ecological balance, that during the winter season there is no food available in their native places, so they come to the tropical nations and around that. If we compare it to humans, so human migration can be directly related with the identification and founding some job so that the livelihood can be sustained. So it is somehow related to the migration of birds.
So, one is a compulsion, the other is aspirational.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Coming to your electrical engineering background, suppose you were to prescribe to the government of India about the energy transition that we are making, switching from hydrocarbons to sourcing it through, say, lithium batteries or hydrogen sourcing. So, which way will you prescribe it for the government of India? Which choice to make of the several options available technologically in terms of feasibility and also optimizing Indian strategical interests?
Sir, if we look at the current installed capacity of India, right now 40% is through renewable resources and the maximum is contributed by the solar power sector. So I would prescribe that we would transit with the help of solar power to increase the renewable share in our country.
What fails this transition? I mean, what becomes the impediment? I have been hearing of this solar power cells and equipments for more than a decade. Still, it has not caught up.
Sir, the main independents are first is the manufacturing of solar PV cells. It is not located in India. We have to import largely from other nations.
So our import dependence will increase.
Yes, sir.
So what are the other options? Why are you suggesting this to us?
Sir, it was, but we have taken significant steps in that. For example, the production linked incentive scheme to target and manufacture the solar PV cells in our own nation. Secondly, renewable sector, as India is a tropical country and also the founder of the International Solar Alliance, we have huge potential of solar power as compared to other sectors. So, and first the initial installation is higher, but the subsequently running cost, if we see the per kilowatt hour production cost, it is around 2 to 3 rupees as compared to fossil fuels, which is around 5 rupees. So the operational costs are lower. So initially the fabrication requires a significant amount of capital investment, but subsequently in the longer run it will take on and help in the increasing of the renewable sector.
Thank you.
So good luck, thank you very much and do well.